We've never seen anything like it. 6 hours before her match in Stadium 3, Alexandra Eala already had hundreds of people lining up outside the gates at Indian Wells, while 2 full matches still had to be played first. This is what happens when a number 32 ranked 20-year-old stops being a nice story and becomes an event the sport cannot contain. And the moment the desert realized it had lost control came after midnight.
And the crowd, I do my best for them. I try my hardest every match. Yeah.
Subscribe and stay with this community. In the last 72 hours at the BNP Paribas Open, Alex Eala survived a 3-hour battle against Diana Yastremska, 7-5, 4-6, 7-5, finishing just before midnight in the desert cold.
It's such a pleasure to be able to play on courts where people are rooting for you.
Then the noise only got louder as she advanced past Coco Gauff when Gauff retired at 6-2, 2-0. Even Eala admitted the scale hit her differently in Indian Wells.
You know, I'm the only Filipina that a lot of people are able to kind of see.
I did not expect this sort of fan base or crowd rallying behind me, and that surprise is exactly where the pressure begins. Indian Wells is built for superstars. It is built for polished schedules, controlled crowds, and predictable demand, especially on outer courts. What it was not built for is the Eala Tour, arriving 6 hours early, surrounding Stadium 3, and turning a second-round match into a ticket and safety problem the tournament had to solve in real time. And to be fair to the officials, this is not malicious, it is logistics. They are not against her. They just did not prepare for her, but the warning signs were already there. ATP player Christopher Eubanks described mobs and lines of people trying to reach her side courts, and he publicly pushed organizers toward one clear fix: get her on a bigger court so everyone stays safe. The establishment did not create this storm. Alex Eala did. First, the number that matters, 6 hours, reported that long lines formed outside Stadium 3 6 hours before Eala's second-round match even began. Not 30 minutes, not early to grab a seat. 6 hours, the kind of wait people do for concerts, title fights, and once-in-a-lifetime nights. And here is what that proves. This was not curiosity. This was devotion with a schedule. That was the scene outside the stadium. Inside the match, it turned into something harder, something earned. Eala versus Yastremska lasted roughly 3 hours, first ending 7-5 in the third set, and it crept toward midnight as the temperature dipped in the desert. Yet the crowd stayed. Coats, blankets, flags, and signs that made the message impossible to miss. Laban Alex, fight Alex. Put yourself in that stadium for a second. You are not in Manila. You are not even close. You are in California on an outer court past the hour when families usually head to the parking lots, and you still choose to stay until the last ball because this is not just tennis to you. That kind of loyalty changes the match before the first serve is even struck, and it did not stay limited to match night. BNP Paribas Open reporting confirmed that Eala's practice sessions were drawing overflow crowds so large they had to be relocated to bigger courts. Practice, not a night session, not a top 10 matchup. It's practice treated like a main event because she was the main event. This is the part the wider tennis world keeps underestimating. Rankings do not capture gravity. Crowd behavior does. Then came the moment where the story stopped being just Filipino pride and became sport-wide reality. Coco Gauff, one of the most recognizable stars in women's tennis, publicly acknowledged what was happening in front of her. She thanked the crowd, noted that many were there for Alex, and gave Eala something even bigger than a compliment. She credited her with expanding the audience. She thanked Alex for bringing a new demographic to the sport. That is not a throwaway line. When a top American star says that out loud on an American stage, it is a confirmation that this movement is visible from the inside, not just from the comment section. And for the fans who have been riding for her through every late-night stream and every grainy highlight clip, this is your moment too. You recognize the pull before the sport had the courage to plan for it. Indian Wells did not manufacture that crowd. You did. Which brings us to the emotional peak, the only voice that can truly seal it. In the early hours after that midnight win, Eala did not talk first about rankings or prestige. She talked about people. It means the world to have this community behind me in such a prestigious tournament. For them to make the effort to stay up late and stay in the cold and cheer me on, it really added to the feelings and the emotions after the match. That is not an athlete tolerating attention. That is an athlete receiving love and carrying it carefully. Now, the official stamp, Salah Talak is not a social media hype man. He is the tournament director tasked with keeping an elite WTA 1000 event running smoothly. Tickets, scheduling, operations, the entire machine. And after witnessing the Eala surge up close, his reaction was the kind that admissions offices and TV partners do not ignore. We've never seen anything like it. When the person responsible for order says the demand is unprecedented, it means the sport has crossed a line it cannot uncross. This is where it stops being a one-tournament storyline and becomes a 2026 reality. Indian Wells already responded by moving Eala onto a bigger stage. She is set for the round of 16 against Linda Noskova on Stadium 1, Tuesday, March 11th. Because Stadium 3 cannot safely hold what she brings anymore. And in 2 weeks, the circus moves again to the Miami Open, another massive stop where organizers now have to plan for the same waves of flags, chants, and ticket hunger. Here is the defensible prediction. The rest of this season, Eala is not getting placed on show courts because she is a novelty. She is getting placed there because she is a business necessity. If the sport wants to grow, it follows the crowd, and right now the crowd follows her. And no, this rise has not been spotless. Just weeks ago in Dubai, Coco Gauff crushed Eala 6-0, 6-2. So when Gauff retired in Indian Wells with Eala leading, Alex did not take the cheap victory lap. On International Women's Day, she turned the moment into grace. First and foremost, I want to say Happy Women's Day. Thank you, Coco, for being an amazing competitor and amazing role model, and I really hope that everything is well and you will recover soon. That is what pressure looks like when it is carried properly. 6 hours outside Stadium 3. Laban Alex signs in a California desert night, a match ending near midnight, and the crowd still there. A superstar opponent admitting a new demographic just arrived. Then the tournament director, almost stunned, saying he has never seen anything like it. Verdict: Alex Eala has already forced the sport to adjust its infrastructure to her presence. The rankings will move when they move. Her impact is moving right now. So here is the question for you. When she walks onto Stadium 1 against Noskova, does Indian Wells get even louder, or does the moment finally test how big this Eala tour can get? If you want a front row seat with the people who understood this wave early, subscribe and stay with this community. We are tracking the lines, the court upgrades, and the reactions, because the sport is not just watching Alex Eala win matches, it is watching a fan base reshape the event calendar in real time. And the next stop after Indian Wells is Miami.